Hey guys, and welcome to day 2 of Wimbledon Unfiltered with me, Nick Kyrgios, the best host in the world, Gordon Smart, and a special guest, the coach, Patrick Mouratoglou, presented by talkSPORT and my show, Good Trouble.
He's good at this, isn't he?
Not too
Patrick?
bad.
Pretty good.
I mean, he did this all his life. That's
pretty,
crazy.
Pretty good. Yeah, we are here for the next 2 weeks every day, apart from weekends, to bring you the biggest stories from Wimbledon. Nick, you've got us off to a great start there, but give us an appraisal of this man standing here, right, in terms of his coaching record.
Well,
pretty impressive right now. Naomi Osaka is the main gig.
Yeah, I mean, our coaching record together. I was out there yesterday sitting next to Patrick. He did most of the job, but I was there supporting, and obviously me and Naomi are quite close, and I do want to see her go as far as she can, and she's got a very good coach in her corner, so yeah. I'm hoping for all the best.
Patrick, welcome aboard.
Thank you.
How's Wimbledon this year so far?
Incredibly, I mean, look at your face. You're sweating.
I am.
Incredibly hot. It's crazy.
I feel better that you're sweating as well, as a man used to this temperature.
I think we're all sweating now, but it's, yesterday was a record, the hottest first day of Wimbledon ever. I think it's hit all over Europe, but it also strikes here. And if you look at the practice courts, they're almost already dead. That's crazy because of the hit.
Yeah.
They look like usually what they look like after 10 days of tournaments. So, but I mean, why not?
Yeah.
It's different from every year because usually we have much more rain. For the moment, we have only sun and heat, so it's going to be different conditions of play, but. Maybe that's one of the reasons why you have so many surprises in the first round.
Nick, see, I heard on the radio earlier a conversation about the movement from the crowd because so many people are fanning themselves, right? When you throw the ball in there and you catch that, does that put you off? Yeah,
I guess Wimbledon's one of those events where you expect complete silence and no one moving. But, as Patrick said, that's maybe why there's so many upsets, so many seeds kind of falling down. We're seeing an upset right now as well. I just think, he's right. There's a lot of rain usually. It's cold. Sometimes I played a match over 3 days because of the rain. So now being the 2 hottest days pretty much recorded, it's interesting.
I can't believe it. You're not sweating at all.
I sweat. Trust me. When I get moving, I do sweat a lot. I've had some run-ins with the umpires with my towel situation.
What's he like to coach?
He's never coached me.
Did you never? Never at all? Never once? Never even like half an hour?
He never wanted me as a coach.
I wouldn't want to put him through that chaos.
Why not?
No, I don't want to put anyone through that chaos. It's too inconsistent.
Would you like to have a chance to coach at some stage with a couple of years, 3 years, 4 years?
No, I think he is the most incredible player to coach because he can do anything with the ball. His possibilities are unlimited. Is very difficult to coach, obviously, and he knows it. But that makes it very challenging and great. I like him, which is very important. You need to like the person really, otherwise it's difficult. But it's not enough. You need to connect with the person, and the person really needs to want also to connect with you, and then you can, go make some way together, and go through challenges. And there are always challenges, always surprises, and our job as tennis coaches is to solve problems because there are always problems to solve. And the more problems you solve, the more your player progresses.
Problems to solve, Nick? A few problems to solve.
Everyone.
Problem.
Yeah, I mean, look, I'm not the greatest book reader. Like I can't say I've read too many books in my life, but look, I'll make a deal. If you, Naomi, win Wimbledon, I'll hire you as my coach. Deal?
Oh, really?
That's a deal.
Shake on it, boys. You've got to shake on that.
Right there. Deal.
There's no hands, no fingers crossed behind his back or anything like that.
I took both hands to make sure.
Nick, tell us what's happening in the tennis now. There's a bit of a shock happening.
Yeah, that's a big upset. Obviously, Zheng has, she's one of those players that has a lot of expectation on her. She goes deep at Grand Slams, and this is what happens. Another upset. These earlier rounds are so dangerous, especially on grass. There's not so many grass tournaments during the year, so it's very hard if you haven't won a lot of matches on grass to find your feet. And look, to be honest, I played juniors with Siniakova. She's a good doubles player. She's had a lot of success on the doubles court. So I'm not surprised every time I see her do relatively well on the grass. She's got decent hands. Another upset. And she plays Naomi next round. So
a little bit of scouting for you to do here, Patrick, for the next round.
Yeah, right? But I spent my whole day scouting Zheng, and now I have to scout Krejcikova. So not Krejcikova, Siniakova, sorry.
How do you do that, as a coach at a big tournament like this? How difficult is it to keep across everything?
I mean, you need to be focused.
Yeah.
You focus on what you do with your player to, keep going and keep improving throughout the tournament because, at every tournament there are things that are working well, things that some others are not working as great. So you need to keep improving throughout the tournament.
Patrick, I noticed on your social media you had a big birthday party the other day. Have you recovered in time for Wimbledon?
Yes, I did. But trust me, it was not easy.
One thing I know about Patrick, he can run on very few hours sleep.
Yeah. Is that right?
I can.
Who enjoyed your party the most?
No, it was a gala. It was my annual gala. We're raising funds for my foundation, and we do a really big gala with a lot of friends coming from all over the world. And I mean, it ends up with a big party, so we ended up late. And I tell you something, we had Olympic champions there, friends, and one was a swimmer, gold medalist, and he said it was 4 a.m. and everything was around the pool. He said, let's do a race. And at 4 a.m. with Richard Gasquet, him, me, and another guy who was a world champion in decathlon, we did the race.
Who won?
No one.
For sure not me.
They all had to be rescued from the swimming pool.
I had zero chance against those guys.
Excellent stuff. Right, Nick, looking back at yesterday then, biggest story of the day for you?
Yeah, I think it's the Fritz and Perricard, marathon. This match was probably one of the ones circled in the draw for everyone. Perricard's got the biggest serve. He actually set the record for biggest serve on
155, was it?
153 miles per hour. And the fact he lost the point is pretty embarrassing, honestly. The fact that you get that feat and then you lost the point.
Great return.
It was a good return, but this match has danger zone for Fritz all over it. And he was down 5-1 in the 4-set tiebreak, and against Perricard, it's pretty much game over. So this is going to be interesting. I've been in this exact same position where you split sets and you have to go home and sleep on it. It's not easy. For Fritz, I don't mind it though. It kind of just like, he had all the momentum, but he can kind of go home and really focus on his game style. But look, I don't know who's going to win this one.
So what happens in that situation last night? What would you have wanted to do? Keep it going? Call it, because you have to have a unanimous decision, right? You both have to agree.
Well, yeah, you both have to agree. I mean, I don't mind going home and getting some rest and really just like, just gathering all the troops and going again. But look, Perricard, his game plan's not really going to change. It's going to 2 first serves and play big, and Fritz, I think it actually helps Fritz, to be honest. I think the better player usually uses that night rest better, but we'll see.
If it goes against you, would you have had a fine again for going crazy?
No. Because
is it worth kicking off about?
No, it's not. It's not. At the end of the day, you get another day's rest and to compose yourself. But look, these are 2 guys that I'd probably put in the top 10 on grass. So, and they verse each other first round. Perricard's 36 in the world, so he's pretty much one of the last people to not be seeded. So this is a nightmare draw for Fritz.
Patrick, what would you have done last night? What advice would you have given? Go home, have an extra night, or get it finished?
I think when the guy is doing well, and Fritz, as Nick just said, was like almost 1 point away from losing the match, 5-1 down in a tiebreak and 2 sets to 1 down. It's ridiculous. I mean, when he wins it, he clearly has a good feeling. I wouldn't stop. When you are on that move, you try not to stop. So, if I was coaching Fritz, I would try to make him continue. Would I be right? I have no idea, but that's my feeling.
Good man. Right. What about the Brits yesterday, Nick? A pretty good result all round, really.
Very, very good result. I think it was a record of Brits getting through first round. I think 7 of them made it through, and there was some good results. Arthur Ferry beat Popperin, who's playing the best tennis of his career. He's 20 in the world or something. So that's an incredible win. And there's a lot of Brits playing today too. I really want to keep an eye on Dan Evans and Jay Clark. I love when two guys go head to head. I want to be watching that one. But as I said, Katie Bolte yesterday, I called it. There was a certain guy on my team that said there's no way that Badosa's losing that, and I called it again. And I think she's dangerous. Honestly, on the grass with the crowd, I think she could go deep. So let's keep an eye on that one.
What's the story behind the scenes though, Paula Badosa? Come on, Nick.
I don't know. I mean, look, there definitely is obviously a bit of trouble in paradise at the moment. Like both of them losing, and obviously the tennis world loves to create stories.
Just a her fella, right?
I think, they look happy. Yeah. I'm happy for them.
What does Instagram tell you, Nick?
I don't know. I mean, look, I'm trying to focus on getting back on court and not too involved in all that stuff. But, hopefully they can get their tennis back on track, because when Steph's playing good tennis, he is fun to watch. And, I wouldn't mind getting back to a Grand Slam and versing him so we can have a bit more fun together.
There we go. What about off court? When you've got a player that you coach, Patrick, and there is some interest off court or something else going on in their life, how do you get the focus back? I'm sure it's in the book, by the way. 20 quid at Wimbledon.
Well, that's a very good question, and I think it's extremely difficult to separate what's happening out of the court and what's happening on the court, because those guys are not machines. They're humans. They have feelings. They have emotions, and when they're affected one way, in a positive way or a negative way. I'll tell you one story. One day there was a player, I don't want to name him. He was 80 in the world, but I was basically the ranking all his career. And suddenly he starts to play incredible, and in 1 year he enters top 10. And the guy was maybe 26 and 18 in the world all his life. And I just crossed his coach and I said, wow, you did an incredible job. Because this guy was 80 all his life. He said, I did nothing. I said, what do you mean? No. He just met a girl. He's crazy in love. She sees him as God. The guy got a confidence. It's a joke.
Yeah.
And that's what happened. And I believe it. I really believe it because, as I said, something positive or negative that happens out of the court affects you. And sometimes, very surprising, there are players, when it's chaos out of the court, they play better than when it's harmony. When you know the players, you understand why, because there is a history behind.
Yeah.
But, it's very important. Once you know yourself, you know also what you need out of the court to be able to perform on the court. But if your interest for tennis gets smaller and you start to be interested in a lot of other things and they take too much space, it's difficult to perform. When you want to do something really great at whatever you do, you need full focus and full passion for it, otherwise it doesn't work.
Nick Kyrgios, are you better when you're in love or worse?
Look, my career is a strange one because, I've had weeks where I've prepared absolutely perfect and played diabolical, and then I've had weeks where I've literally haven't practiced, haven't prepared at all, and I've won the tournament. So it's really strange for me. I don't think it translates for me at all. I think sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't, but ultimately, as long as I got a good team around and I get some sort of sleep the night beforehand, I can play pretty well. But yeah, look, I think Patrick said it right. And he's got a new book coming, Love Guru. It's coming out pretty soon. After that.
You can't wait for this one.
Yeah, I think I need that one.
Suddenly you're going to read.
That's the one I'm going to read. That's the one I'm going to read. But
I get the feeling Patrick knows a lot about that.
Yeah. I just don't think it always translated for me, but we'll see.
I want to talk to you very quickly about Medvedev.
Yeah.
What happened there? Because there was a little bit of a debate about his response in the press conference after the match.
Yeah, my dark horse was, look, just secretly, Patrick's dark horse was Shapovalov. He went down. My dark horse was Holger Rune as well. He went down. There was some interesting controversial comments by opponents yesterday, and Medvedev, kind of saying about Bonzi, like if he plays this level all year round, you can make millions of dollars and be, top 30 in the world. And I've always wanted that too against, with Benjamin Bonzi. I played him at the US Open, took me to 4 sets, nearly took me to 5 sets, and he can play some seriously good tennis. But he kind of goes missing during the year, and then at Grand Slams he shows up, and obviously to beat Medvedev in 4 sets, it's not easy. Medvedev's made quarterfinals here, semifinals, so I don't know. But Bonzi is someone that I don't think anyone wants to see, to be honest, at a Grand Slam.
Yeah, I think we've got the exact quote here, actually. He said, why not play like this every day, win millions, and be rich?
And he said, and this guy decides to play only once a year.
Yeah.
But it's typical Medvedev. The guy is crazy funny.
Yeah.
Especially when he's frustrated, he says always funny stuff. So, as Nick said, some guys are known to be able to play by far the best tennis when they play the big guys, and the rest of the time they don't play even close to that level, and they're losing a lot of matches to players that are miles away from the ones they beat. And it frustrates a lot of top players. It's horrible because they always think, okay, he played like unbelievable, and next round he's going to play nobody and he's going to lose. Why would he beat me?
Excellent. Heroes and villains. Next picks. Who have you got this week?
Look, I think Alcaraz slipping through that first round. I think now he's going to really dial in. I think he's going to be very, very hard to beat. I think having a dangerous first round like that for a big player is actually good. Kind of locks them in for next round. I wouldn't be surprised whoever plays him next might get absolutely destroyed. We'll see about that. But my villain of the week is Holger, because I just love that comment, straight away saying that he would beat Jarry 9 times out of 10. But that's kind of the cockiest comment ever, but I like it. I said that was something I would have said in my press conference, but that's why I do like Holger. I do like that, and that's kind of stirred up the media a little bit.
Great stuff. Make sure you send your questions in as well for Nick. Put them in the comments below on the YouTube page, and he will answer them tomorrow. On you go, Patrick. You're going to say something?
No, about Alcaraz Sinner. It's funny. The first round is the exact picture of who they are.
Yeah.
Sinner destroys the guy, and Alcaraz goes 5 sets. That's exactly him. Alcaraz can't focus every point in every match, but when it's the big matches, I mean, the level he plays is completely insane. Where on the other hand, Sinner is locked in every point, every match from the 1st of January to the 31st of December, and that's his strengths. That's his strengths. But, you know, I mean, those two guys, the level they played in the final of Roland Garros was, I mean, I've never seen a final of Roland Garros of that level. I think we talked about it.
We talked about it,
It's crazy, the level. And, I mean, I can't wait to see them playing finals of other Grand Slams. And I think this is going to happen for a few years because they clearly are, I mean, above everyone for the moment.
So tell me then, Nick, right, are you responsible for Naomi Osaka's victory yesterday?
Absolutely not. I got there midway through the second set, and then I was really surprised with her opponent, to be honest. And the thing is, qualifiers are always dangerous. You know, they played 3 tough matches. They come through. She plays Naomi Osaka, she's clearly the underdog, so they come out swinging. And I sat there and I asked Patrick and Stu, I was like, has she been playing like this the whole time? Because she was just, you know, redlining, swinging hard and enjoying the moment. And she put herself in the position to win. She was there serving for the second set twice, but that's why Naomi Osaka is a Grand Slam champion. She rallies, she breaks back to love twice in a row. So it was, you know, I'm not saying my presence, you know, got her over the line or anything, but maybe.
It played a part, did it?
I mean, she didn't even see me. She, in the press conference, she said she didn't even see me, and I was like, oh, really? I'm never coming again. No, I'm joking.
But you were hiding a little bit.
No, I mean, I was. I mean, because I was, you know, she was playing in Australian. I know what the Australian media are going to be like, you know what I mean? But next round, I'm going to be there.
I mean, 100%. She loves feeling your support. So
I'll be there next round.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah, perfect.
It's often said in football, you know, how much attention do you really pay to the coach on the sideline?
Oh, I never give anything to my box.
But in the box and tennis, how much communication really makes a difference?
Well, you know, I mean, there was a rule before we were not supposed to talk to the players. Honestly, when you're on tour, you see that probably 90% of the coaches were speaking to their player, like, not one time per match, but maybe 10, 20 times. So that was not authorized, but that was tolerated by the chair umpires. And then finally, the tour decided to make it legal. So I think it's more fluid. I mean, there is really, we're not supposed to discuss, and that's the rule is really strange, but I don't like the rule at all. I mean, you either authorize it or not, but we can talk, but we cannot discuss. Okay? I mean,
what about texting from the bathroom? Nick.
Who did that?
I don't know. I've just heard a rumor it might happen.
This is the thing about Gordon. He puts the line in and he never bites it on his.
Stop being politicians. Does it happen? Do you think? Does it happen?
Probably.
Yeah.
Why not? It's easy to do.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I'm sure I've seen, I'm not going to name anyone, but I've seen guys texting, looking at text in their bag during the match.
Yeah.
That's Instagram.
So
There we go. Right, Patrick, I want to ask you about some of the people who are non-tennis players you've coached. Who are the best celebrities you've coached? Or maybe not the best.
This is a good question.
I'd like to know. I believe you've got quite an impressive client list.
I guess Ronaldo.
Oh, wow.
That's cool.
Brazilian Ronaldo.
Yeah, Brazilian.
Who's better, Brazilian or Portuguese Ronaldo?
I never played with the Portuguese. I think the Portuguese is clearly fitter.
Yeah, I think.
Because he's young. I mean, he's much younger and he still plays football. So yeah. But I mean, Ronaldo, the Brazilian Ronaldo, really loves tennis. Like really loves tennis, and he plays a lot. So I think he swings the ball really good.
Yeah.
But tennis is so much about movement. So
yeah, it's tough.
It's
the hardest sport in the world.
But he plays really good, and he has 100 backhand, so it's cool.
Pretty good. Best amateur you've played with, sort of non-tennis professional?
I mean, Matthew McConaughey was pretty good.
Yeah.
But honestly, DJ Mustard loves it. I don't think I've ever met someone that has passion like him. Mustard plays like 4 hours a day. Like, he was so into it when I spoke to him in LA. He was like, I trained already for 2 hours and I'm going for another 2 hours. I'm like, you really love this? And he's like, yeah, he takes it really seriously. And he posts on his Instagram about beating people and stuff. So I might just have to go there and just humble him a little bit. We'll see.
Excellent stuff.
I played with him too.
Yeah, he loves it, right?
Yeah. Unbelievable.
Loves it.
Anybody else you could mention? Any other famous people you've coached?
Yeah, Rainn Wilson.
Excellent.
Yeah. Same. Loves tennis.
Yeah, he does love tennis. He does love tennis.
Yeah, he's coming to Wimbledon, by the way, to watch.
He
texted me to get some tickets.
Get him on.
We've got to get him on.
Sure.
Get him on. Excellent. Patrick, we're going to have a little look at the book very quickly, right? Nick, I want you to open that on any page.
Okay.
And read something out and see if he definitely wrote this book.
Okay. Let me have a look.
Right,
okay, we'll go
what have we gone for? Any advice on that page?
Okay. In February 2013, Serena Williams had reclaimed her spot as the best tennis player in the world. Under my coaching, in just 6 months, she had won Wimbledon, 2 Olympic gold medals, and the US Open and the year-end Masters.
That's telling me, that's true. So, how much of a part did you play in Serena's success?
It's difficult to say. No, it's really
sounds
difficult to say.
Sounds like you're taking a
A
lot.
lot, because I feel like it's so hard to keep an athlete like that. You know, there's a lot going on there. So
I mean, you know, when I started with her, of course, all the journalists came and asked me, and told me this is such an achievement for you. And I really answered that. I know it's going to sound very cocky, but I really meant it. I said there's zero achievement there because I did nothing. I'm very, very happy and humbled that she chose me. But you know, if she does better with me than what she was doing before, and that's my goal, then you can talk about achievement. But we'll see. And I guess that's what happened. So I have to feel that I was useful. Otherwise, you're just here to carry the bags, and you know. So you make a difference or you don't.
I think you made a difference, judging from those accolades I just read.
Nick, how much do you think Patrick's book costs?
Well, you already told me.
I've already told you.
20 quid.
It's 20 quid, actually. There you go. One of your guys' horse has been complaining about buying 4 books.
Well,
so
look, what I will complain is the price of the drinks.
Yes.
At Wimbledon. This is
Too
crazy.
Much? How much?
It was like £11 for a beer, which is like $20 plus dollars for a beer. That's too much.
Is that too much?
Like they need to lower those prices a little bit. Wimbledon, you got to lower those prices a little bit.
Excellent
but
stuff.
you know that British people cannot do without. So
I know.
they're going to buy it anyway.
This is true.
I've got mine under
coach's
here.
mindset.
Right, very quickly, if you do get in touch with us, please send us a little message for Nick with quick fire questions that we'll put to him throughout the next couple of weeks. Couple for you here, Nick. Favourite Australian celebrity?
Ooh, favourite. Favourite Australian celebrity. Probably Chris Hemsworth.
Yeah.
I mean, I love Chris Hemsworth, but I do love Margot Robbie.
It says Margot Robbie here.
yeah. I mean, look, every guy in here laughed, so I don't understand why it's just me that, you know. Okay. I mean, yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. So,
if you weren't a tennis player, what would you be?
I'll probably try and pursue my basketball career. Yeah. But right now, I mean, I love the media. I'm starting to really love the media, so probably something to do with that.
And with Patrick standing next to us, what's the best piece of advice you've ever received?
No, I don't know. One thing that always sticks with me from one of my old coaches is it's never as good as it seems and it's never as bad as it seems. And I think in the tennis world, it's very relevant because you could have the best week of your life, and then the next week you can lose first round. And just things always coming at you in the tennis world, and then with everything externally with life as well. It's just like, you know, try and stay even keeled the whole time, and then just keep showing up.
Patrick, you've had a remarkable career, but if you had one piece of advice you could pass on to everybody watching, what would it be?
I mean, something that would work with everyone. I would say choose the right people around you. And I'm going to explain what I mean. I mean people who value you. It's not something, I mean, because people think, oh, I want positive people, which is very important too, actually. But they never really think that they need people who value them. And that's extremely important. Not that they need people to tell them that they're great all day long, but, you know, you feel when someone values you. People have always the choice to look at your flaws or look at your qualities. And if you have people around you that look at your qualities and really value you, I think it changes your life. And, you know, there are a lot of studies show that only one negative person in your around you, I mean, has incredible effects on you. So, yeah, the people that are around, it's true, of course, for tennis players, for the career, but it's true in life in general. I think it's key. And the example of this tennis player with his girlfriend, I mean, it says it all. And if you look at all the very successful players, they have a partner, a life partner that really is incredibly supportive and incredibly that is admiring them. I think it's extremely important.
Patrick Mouratoglou, thank you very much for coming on. Really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Good man.
It was the best. Appreciate it.
Yeah, I see you at next match of Naomi.
Yeah, I'll be there. As long as you can reserve a ticket for me, then I'm there.
Right, Wimbledon Unfiltered with talkSPORT and Good Trouble. Nick Kyrgios will be back tomorrow. We're here for the next 2 weeks. Don't miss us. Send us a question for Nick in the comments below, and we'll catch you again tomorrow.